Good morning, beloveds. So, if anything about this is weird, Facebook's being stupid. Just straight up stupid. It won't let me go live on the iPad. It won't let me go live on the phone, on the computer. While it will let me go live on the phone, it won't let me do it in landscape. So I'm this close to just not doing it at all, but we are doing the Prodigal Son, and I'm having a really good time doing the Prodigal Son. So it doesn't matter what the video looks like as long as it sounds good. So hopefully you can hear this. And yeah, we're just gonna do the best we can and pray. We are praying people, right? So we are a healthy-minded people. I'm trying to get the phone to sit where it won't move. No promises. So, yeah. And now it's telling me I have a slow connection. So, yeah, if this punks out on us or does anything weird, I don't know what to tell you. I'm doing the best I can, right? 'Cause I had a great day in the park. It was hot. There was a blue jay and some squirrels, and here we are. Okay. But that's why I'm, almost 40 minutes late, because I couldn't figure out how to get on. And here we are. All right. So we are on, so we're in the Science Mind text in part 5 from the Teaching of Jesus. We are on page 464. Like I said, we are in Ernest's take on the Prodigal Son, which is amazing if you haven't read it before. We are starting with the Great Awakening. It's telling me I have a slow connection. I don't know what that means. If it's glitching my video, Okay, I even updated the iPad. I updated the iOS on the iPad, updated the Facebook app. Okay, but we're up for the Great Awakening. Facebook isn't, but we are. All right. And when he came to himself, he said, "How many hired servants of my father's have bread enough and to spare? I perish with hunger." And when he came to himself, this is the Great Awakening, the moment in which we now live. In this moment, we are asking the question of ourselves, is there not plenty in the universe? Why do we want? In this divine awakening, there seems to be an inner witness who remembers that we came from a heavenly state. If I'm pausing, it's because it's telling me I have a slow connection, and I don't want it to make me sound any weirder than I already do. Let's see. There seems to be an answer from the great within, which says the Spirit's house is filled with peace, power, and plenty. The universe is not limited. It is abundant, lavish, extravagant. Nothing can be taken from nor added to it. Creation is the play of life upon itself. We know by intuition that there is something beyond what we have so far consciously experienced in this world. Poets have sung of it, and there are moments in the lives of all when the veil seems to thin between, and we almost enter into, oh, God bless America. I apologize. My eyes are a little itchy, but we're headed into my allergy season. And of course, it said slow connection again. All right. This video is going to be a hot mess, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Let's see. Poets have sung of it, and there are moments in the lives of all when the veil seems to thin, and we almost enter into the heavenly estate. This is the meaning of coming into oneself. We are still in the awakening state. We have not yet consciously entered the state of perfect wholeness. We know that such a state is a reality and that we shall yet attain this reality. Nothing can Seriously, y'all, I don't think Facebook likes these Facebook Lives. Nothing can dislodge the inner and intuitive perception from our mentality. We know it as certainty. We know that we live. This is God in us knowing itself. We are awakening to the realization that the universe is perfect and complete. It gives, it is love, it is good, and it wills only good to all alike. All right. So I've never read The Grapes of Wrath. So I know it's about the Dust Bowl, and that's about it. But I saw it was a little discussion on The Grapes of Wrath, and they were talking about the why they're called, and it's slow connection again, why they're called the Grapes of Wrath. And it's because grapes are rotting in the field for the want of a prophet, I think was what is the line. I may not be quoting it exactly, but point being, there is enough. There is enough to support the population, okay? Yes, our population is wildly huge, but there's enough to support the population in the world, okay? The problem is, and I've quoted this before, the problem is not that we cannot, it's not that we cannot feed the hungry, or that we cannot support the poor. It's that we cannot satisfy the rich. It is literally greed. It is literally greed on the parts of a few that cause the suffering of the many. Slow connection. So that's the issue. You know, it's that somebody's out to make a buck. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't make a buck, but if you are literally letting food rot because you can't make a profit when there are hungry people, then you are the problem. There is enough. There is enough. And that's what Ernest is saying. You know, if you look around, the world is enough. I mean, there's a James Bond movie called The World Is Not Enough, and it's about greed. So, you know, but that being the point, nature is abundant. The world is abundant. There's enough. And it's up to us to wake up to that and then, you know, follow principle and make sure that everybody gets no connection again. I can't wait to see what this video looks like. I cannot. All right. So, the next section is self-condemnation. The prodigal said, I will rise and go to my father and will say unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before thee, and am no more worthy to be called thy son. Take me as one of thy hired servants. This represents a theological state of mind which is quite common to all of us. One of self-condemnation and personal distrust. It is morbid and detrimental to our welfare. A theological state of introspective morbidity, which might be classed as one of our worst mental diseases. All right, Ernest. Self-condemnation is always destructive and should never be indulged in by anyone. It is always a mistake. There is no question but that all of us have done that which is not for the best. From this viewpoint, all have been sinners because all have fallen short of the divine calling. If we have sinned, it is because we have been ignorant of our true nature and because experience is necessary to bring us to ourselves. Okay. And that's all he says. That's all he says on self. But he says, which might be classed as one of our greatest mental diseases. In slow connection. And there's a writer that I've been reading a lot of lately, and I've actually ordered 2 of his books. They just haven't gotten here yet, called Jim Palmer. And this is his stomping ground. He is a big believer in the biggest problem that Christianity has is the guilt, the self-condemnation, the fact that we beat ourselves up, the fact that we want to wear hair shirts. Trust me, no hair shirts. And it's this constant self-flagellation. Oh, I can't. Let me not. That word was going to sound really weird, so we beat ourselves up, like literally. And that's not what God wants, and that's not what Jesus taught. And yet we do it. Catholics, they run on guilt, and I can say that because I was raised Catholic. They run on guilt. And then some of the other religions that are close to Catholic, like the Methodist, the Lutheran, the Presbyterian, they joke about being Catholic light. So the question then becomes, why do we do this self-condemnation? Ernest is saying, look, don't do it. Everybody falls short of the mark occasionally. Sometimes more than occasionally. The best thing we can do is pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and not do it again. And not do it, the best apology is changed behavior. So when we fall short of the mark, we pick ourselves up, we dust ourselves off, and we don't do it again. Oh my goodness. All right. I'm going to try and do one more. Yeah. And the father saw him afar off. And he arose and came to his father. But when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion and ran and fell upon his neck and kissed him. This is the most perfect lesson ever taught by the great teacher. When he was yet a great way off, his father saw him and ran and fell upon his neck and kissed him. This means that God turns to us when we turn to God. A more beautiful thought could not be given than this. There is always a reciprocal action between the universal and the individual mind. As we look at God, God looks at us. Is it not true that when we look at God, God is looking through us at itself? God comes to us as we come to God. It is done unto us as we believe. Act as though I am and I will be. And all of the poets talk about that too. Even Rumi. Rumi has I think it's either Rumi or Hafiz that says, joy has been running through the streets. Joy has been running through the streets, calling your name, looking for you ever since it heard your name. When we turn to God, God turns back to us. And it is amazing. And I've had enough of this slow connection. So I'm going to wrap this up here and stop because I just can't take it anymore. And I'm just going to hope that tomorrow everything's better because I'm losing my mind. And I'm going to go back right now and listen to this video and see if it's as bad as I'm afraid it may be. Because if it is, I'm just going to delete it and try again later. I would tell you what I like to do is this is what I call the housekeeping section, where I remind you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I'm on. An easy way to support the center is by engaging with our social media, even when it has a slow connection, and say, go like, subscribe, share, follow, do all the things, comment. Because I've had lots of comments today. Yeah. See, this is when I start to think maybe I need to quit doing these, because the technology is just fighting me and it's not worth my stress level. But here, I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day. Do something fun day, a put the technology aside day, a cuddle your fur babies day, a catter day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. Simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a spirit in motion. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark. You're a spirit in motion. You are God in action. You are, as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. All right, beloveds. Reverend David will probably be on around 5 p.m. unless he has the same issues that I do. I will attempt to be back at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.